Okay, so today we have to do poem. The poem name is very difficult. Try, try, anti, wanty, gone, gallop. Okay. Now this is a very imaginary poem. Means the poet has tell this poem in imaginary mood. Okay. And he is talking about one insect which is also imaginary. Okay. There's a funny insect that you do not often spy, and it isn't quite a spider and it isn't quite a fly. It is something like a beetle and a little like a bee, but nothing like a woolly grub that climbs upon a tree. Its name is quite a hard one, but you shall learn it soon, I hope. So try and try, try and wanty. Try anti wanty gone hello. Okay, this way you have to pronounce the word. Okay, so what the poet is telling, he is talking about an imaginary insect which he calls named as try anti wanty gone gallop. Okay, and what he is saying, the poet, that it is a funny insect which you don't often see anywhere. Okay, and it is not like a spider, not like a fly also. Okay, and it is something like what, beetle. Okay, it is like a beetle or looks like a bee. It is not a woolly, means, and some animals see insects are like woolly, but he is telling this is not like a woolly little fat insect which is climbing upon the tree. And then again he is telling that you try to, my name is very hard, so you try to read it out. Okay, this way which they have told now, see here, this way you have to read it out. Okay, try, then try anti wanty, try anti wanty gone color. This way you have to read. Then see next paragraph. It lives on the weeds and battle gum and has a face, funny face. Its attitude is hearty and its manner grace. When you see, when first you come upon it again, you find it isn't there, and unless you call it softly, it will stay away. Say, stay away and mop. So try. Uh, where I was, huh? So it is having very funny face, and its aptitude is very large. Aptitude is very large means what? Desire for food is very large. Okay. Then its manners are disgraceful. Its manners are how? Disgraceful. It gives one quiet. What it gives one quiet? What it gives a scare, means when suppose for first time they see, no, they will feel scared. And when someone first comes, no, across it, okay, when someone comes across it, what you will feel, you will look it again. Again you, when you see someone, you are feeling what, very frightened of it. Okay, and you will feel what, very frightened of it when you first time come across it. But when you will look again, you will not see that it is so, not so much frightened. Okay, and then if you call it softly, it will stay away. Means when you call this insect very softly, it will stay away. And feeling very sorry for itself. Okay, he will feel very sorry for itself only. And then what the poet is telling, again pronounce its name which is very difficult. Okay, how we will pronounce? Try anti wanty, try anti wanty gone gallop. Okay, this way you have to pronounce it. Okay, then the next paragraph, wait 1 minute. Next paragraph. It trembles if you tickle it or tread upon its toes. It is not an early riser, but it has a snubby nose. If you sneeze at it or scold it, it will scuttle off in shame. But it pour quite proudly if you call it by its name and offer it some sandwich of stealing wax and soap. So try, anti, wanty, gone gallop. Okay, this way you have to pronounce. Okay, so in this paragraph, what the poet is telling, that he is telling us something about this insect. Okay, in this third paragraph. Then what it is telling, it trembles. Means it moves if you tickle it. Okay, or step your toes. That time also it will tremble, and it is not easy to rise him. It is not easily raised. Okay. Then what they have told, it is having a fat nose. Okay, which is turned at the end. Then if you give it unpleasant look or scold it, it will what do? If you will scold it, it will what do? It will run away from there in a shame. Okay, and it will quickly, shortly step out. But if you but it pruns quite proudly. Okay, it will come prun it quietly, means if you call it very softly, no, it will, what will it do? Proudly, it's your name na. Then what he will do? He will eat. What he will eat? Sandwich of sealing wax. Okay, and soap it will eat. And again the poet is telling, you pronounce my name. Okay, sorry, this insect's name. Then what they have told, but of course you haven't seen it, and I truthfully confess that I haven't seen it either. I don't address it. For there's such an insect, though really might have been if the trees and the grass were purple and the sky was bottle green. It's just a little joke of mine which shall forgive, I hope. And oh, try. Again, the name you have to repeat. So, in the last paragraph, what the poet is telling, that of course you haven't seen it, means this insect we have seen about, no. And then the poet is truthfully confessing that he also have not seen it, and he also don't know the address of this insect. And then what he is telling in the third line, that he has not seen such a insects also. This type of insect he has not seen. And what he is telling, and really such type of insect is not there in the environment also. And what he is telling in the last two lines, if the tree and the grass were purple, what he is telling the poet, if the trees and grass were purple, the sky will have which color? Bottle green. So what he is telling, it is a just little joke which you shall forgive me, I hope. And the poet is telling that he has just made a joke which we have to forgive him, he is telling. And again he is telling, pronounce this name. Okay, so understood this. What is this poem? It is an imaginary poem. The poet has described an imaginary insect. He has told how he is behaving, but in the end of the poem, what he is telling, that such type of insect is not there. Okay, such type of insect is not there. So uh, he is telling sorry, and he is telling forgive me for all this thing which I told you. Okay, So I hope you have understood this poem. You have to read this poem, and what you will do, you will read the poem, and you will read the poem and write the meanings and question answers. Okay.